Hello guys, Josh from 2000 here, and today I'm going to talk about possibly my most favourite Star Wars game ever. And it is probably up there in terms of like my most favourite games. Like it's up there with Dishonored, it's up there with like some of the best games I've played. And this game is Star Wars Republic Commando, which came out in, I think, 2004. Hang on, let me check. I know it came out round about Revenge of the Sith, because they added stuff in... Oh, 2005 actually. 17th of February 2005. It was released. Okay. And... basically what it was, it's a squad-based shooter set in the Star Wars universe in between episodes 2 and 3. And you follow a squad of 4 Republic Commandos. You have Sev, who is the sniper. He's kind of like the cold-blooded killer, like the hardened member of the group, who is actually one of my favourite characters because of some of the quips he comes out with. He's actually pretty funny sometimes. I'll play one for you right now. Okay, there we are. The next character is Scorch, who is the demolitions expert. He loves blowing stuff up, and he's a bit of a joker. Like this guy and Sev have some serious banter, like for the entirety of the game. Then you have 4-0, which is the hacker. Like he gets into computers really quickly, and he's the straight man. The like, let's get it done quick, let's get it done, no nonsense, let's get out of here. And then you've got your character that is the squad leader, who's stoic, only speaks when he needs to speak. Like, and that's pretty much it in terms of your characters. You have 38 or boss, 07 Sev, Scorch 6-2, and Fixer 4-0. That's like, and shall I tell you why I can remember those characters, like rattling them off without even having to look it up? It's because they are literally some of the best. They're some of the best moments in this game come because of these guys. Like I can always remember the line on Kashyyyk when we're going through the jungle inside the prison, and Sev says, "Oh, I always love a good jungle hunt," and I can always remember that conversation. It always sticks in my mind. And some of the other banters, like they're there about to do a door breach, and 4-0's like, "Just don't get so caught up in counting that you forget to cover me." Like there's all this banter between these squad members, but one thing about Republic Commando, it strikes a balance between story and gameplay, which is something quite a lot of games don't really do this day and age. The reason I decided to do this video though was because Real Common Gamer just did one, and it kind of reminded me that I was originally planning to do this. I was originally going to do it when Blackout Studios announced their remaster, but that went by the by because I had other stuff on and it didn't happen. But now I'm doing it, and I've got like, because Republic Commando has just come out on Xbox One. You can get it now for about £8 on there, and it's on Steam. It's dirt cheap on Steam if you want it on PC. You might have to install the mouse acceleration fix and the graphics fix. It's nothing major, it just makes the textures look the way they should, because some textures can look a bit grainy. I think it's because of the age of the file types. It will work perfectly fine though from a fresh install, don't worry about it. And also the graphics fix just patches in widescreen resolutions, like 1080p, stuff like that. But to be honest, the game is still perfectly playable without that fix or any of the fixes, because the mouse acceleration is just in the menus. You can navigate it with your keyboard anyway. But I want to talk about this because I think it's a game that really didn't get the recognition it deserved when it came out, and hence why it never got a sequel. But honestly, it's my favourite Star Wars game of all time, and it's just like, whenever you're talking like, whenever people talk best Star Wars game, it always goes to like KOTOR or Battlefront 2, and well, the pandemic Battlefront 2. Okay, not that garbage by EA. We won't talk about that. But Republic Commando never really seems to enter into a discussion, and I think it's a real shame, because it's kind of a real hidden gem, like, at the back there, you know? It's like, and I think the reason why is because it took such a different tone with Star Wars. Not everybody likes it, because there's literally no lightsabers for the entirety of the game. You don't encounter any Jedi. It's just you and your squad versus droids, Trandoshans, and Geonosians, and various different versions of those. And that's pretty much it for the entirety of the game. There's no Force users, there's no lightsabers, it's just guys with guns fighting each other. And it's like, that works, because it kind of goes for this grittier tone on Star Wars. Like, the enemies look more menacing, the enemies look tougher, and some of the enemies, like the super battle droids, have got really buffed up from the movies. Like, do you remember how in Attack of the Clones, Mace just deflected a few blaster bolts back at the super battle droid and it killed it? In Republic Commando, it takes multiple clips to put down a super battle droid on your own from the standard rifle. It can be lessened by using the sniper or the anti-armor attachment, but that's pretty much it. But it's like, gameplay-wise, I will say the only time the game really takes a dive in terms of quality with the gameplay is when you're on your own. Yeah, these moments are tense and they're normally really well written narratively, but they tend to highlight how bad some of the shooting can be at times. Especially on the higher difficulties, because enemies just become bullet sponges. But if you're playing around about medium or easy, it should be fairly enjoyable, which most people probably will do for a first time playthrough. But controls, they're well mapped out. They're well mapped out on keyboard and mouse, but wasn't a fan of the default controls on controller. I actually had to go in and customize them, because you do have an option to customize them on console, which is something games companies don't do anymore for console, which is kind of weird. I didn't realize they used to do that. But yeah, this is a game that, like, I grew up on this. This was like one of the first proper first-person shooters I ever played. And it also led to me starting to play Halo, which is one of my all-time favorite franchises. Like, my favorite games go Republic Commando, Dishonored 1, Combat Evolved, Transformers War for Cybertron, and James Bond GoldenEye. That's pretty much, and I'm on about the Wii version. I was born way after the Nintendo 64 GoldenEye. Never had the chance to experience that game. But I always did like the 2020 GoldenEye, the 2010 GoldenEye. But anyway, guys, my thoughts on Republic Commando are definitely, if you have not played this yet, you should go out and buy it. May the 4th was yesterday, there may still be sales on. If not, it's dirt cheap anyway. It's like £8 on Xbox, and it's... Well, actually, one thing I noticed when playing it on Xbox, some of the sound was a bit janky in certain moments. Like, some of the levels on Geonosis, the sound was really echoey. I don't know why that was. Think that might be the port over from 1 to, like, over from the original Xbox to Xbox One. I'm not too sure about that, but PC, everything runs fine. And there's nothing wrong with the gameplay on console. The footage I've got right now is from the second segment of the game on the Prosecutor, which is on the console. I recently bought it on back compat, and it's kind of what prompted me to do this video as well, because it's on back compat now. I bought it on back compat, recently started playing through it, and I remembered how much I actually love this game. Also on PC, there's several mods for it. There's an Order 66 mod, which is kind of okay, and you've got the one that most people know, which is the ARC Trooper mod, which is basically an overhaul for the aesthetic of your troops, some of the enemies, and like it also tried to add individual locations in, like unique missions, but when I personally played it, it tended to crash on those custom levels. But maybe I wasn't doing something right. That's definitely what I get the feeling of. But anyway, I also kind of did this video in anticipation for Blackout Studios Remaster. I will put their Twitter down in the description and their YouTube. I will also put Real Comic Book Gamers Republic Commando video down in the description. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'd like to apologise for this being a late May the 4th video. I hope you all enjoy, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.